Just exactly what are you looking for?
I don't know, a sign or something. Sell rice, buy sweet potatoes. What's it say?
A patient man is a fool. A patient woman fools no one.
A patient man? I don't get it. Let me see.
I'd like the check now, please.
Delia!
Father! I don't believe it. I mean, it's been so long.
It certainly has. How are you?
Wonderful. Oh, Dan, I'd like you to meet one of the people that's influenced my life the most. This is Father McShane from the St. Aloysius Parish. This is Dan Fox of Grimley and Fox. He's my broker.
How do you do?
Father, it's a pleasure to meet you.
You're Delia's commodities broker?
Right.
Well, how are things going in that area of your life?
Well, why don't you sit down while he gets the check and we'll tell you all about it. Oh, waiter, a chair for the father, please.
And I'd like my check?
Yes.
I can't get over meeting you like this. I really was thinking about you. I was on the verge of paying you a visit.
Yeah?
Hi, it's me again. Your mother able to see anyone this evening?
No. She's still not feeling so good.
I wouldn't take up much of her time. It's a long way from where I live to Sheepshead Bay. This is the third time I've made the trip.
Sorry.
All right. Tell her I was here, and I'll be back.
It's okay, Michael. Bring him in. I'll talk to him.
Miss Pavel, I'm Jack Finelli.
Sit down, please. Michael, you sit too.
I appreciate you seeing me. You probably don't remember me. I was at the harbor side the other night when you came to see Joe Novak and Tizo Novotny.
I know you. You're a reporter. Your wife's on television. Joe's gonna marry her sister.
How do you know all that?
Oh, we keep track of what Joe does.
We?
The neighborhood. Go ahead, ask me the questions. I don't know if I can answer them. I don't remember much about that night.
Well, you were pretty upset at the time about your husband. Have you heard from him?
No. I won't hear from him again.
Why do you think that?
He's gone. I think he went away with another woman. Never mind, I can do this.
Well, the other night at the harbor side, you seemed to think differently. What changed your mind?
I don't know what I thought then. I don't know what I said that night. I'm on medication for my heart. And sometimes when I take it, I act sort of crazy.
Are you on it now?
Only sometimes. When something bothers me and I get upset. I have to take it then or I could die. It's a condition.
Well, I certainly don't want to disturb you, but there's one or two things that I'm curious about.
For your paper?
No. No, for me, it's just a matter of personal interest. Why did you change your mind about your husband? Are you sure about the woman?
I didn't want to know. He was acting strange for a while. There have been other women before. This one, after he left, some friends told me about her.
Friends, could I talk to them?
Isn't it bad enough? Isn't it a shame enough that they know? I don't want them talking about it anymore.
Well, could you tell me this about your husband and Joe? Now, he worked for Joe.
Ever since Joe started in the business.
What about Tiso?
Oh, he didn't work for Tiso. He worked for Joe.
Well, then why did you go to see Tiso?
I don't know. I told you I was out of my head.
I think that's enough, Ma.
It's okay, Michael. I answered these questions, and that's the end of it, right?
Did you go to see him because of his reputation? I mean, you know the kind of things that people say about Tiso.
Oh, sure I do. Everybody does. He scares me like he scares everybody. Only nobody knows if it's true. My husband disappeared, and I was scared. I wasn't thinking. I just went. That's all. I didn't want to know. I'm sorry I made such a fool of myself in front of everybody.
Nobody thought that. But we were concerned. What about your husband's associates, people he worked with?
Oh, nobody special. I mean, different people. He managed the warehouse. Sometimes he went on the boats.
The last job he did for Joe was something special.
Pavel didn't tell me.
Yeah, but you knew, because when you came to see Tiso, you said that he hadn't been paid.
Oh, I was wrong. Joe paid him. Pavel didn't tell me because he knew he was going to go away.
Well, who else did he see that day?
Nobody special. I mean, I don't know.
Isn't there anybody you could suggest that I could talk to?
Nobody can tell you more than me. I got grandchildren to think about. I got my sons to think about.
What do you mean?
Michael went to school here. He grew up here. Everybody knows us. I don't want him talking about his father that way anymore. It's enough.
Okay. Thanks for your time. You've been very helpful.
Do you mind? Can't sleep. Am I bothering you?
No, not at all. I called the hospital. Your mother's sleeping. She's doing fine.
Well, I'm glad of that, at least. What's she gonna say when she finds out why she's in the hospital?
Is that what's keeping you awake?
Probably. I don't want to think about that, though. It makes me feel too awful. So I'm trying to focus on something else.
But that's confusing, too.
No? How so?
My audition.
I thought you said it went great.
Yeah. And they might give me the part.
Okay, that's wonderful. Are you worried about working on a play while your mother's in the hospital?
I haven't even gotten to that yet.
Okay, well, let me reassure you. Your mother's going to need time to recuperate, but she's in no danger. She's not going to want or need you to hold her hand. I'll tell you something, by the time the play opens, she should be well enough to come there and just cheer you on.
That's really nice. But the problem is, there's something I'm worried about. You see, if I get the part, it's supposed to be played partially nude. You're not shocked?
No, no, no. Repressed and inhibited as I am.
Please don't. I'm glad you're not shocked, but Mother will be.
Oh, no. No, no, I don't think so. I mean, nudity in the theater isn't exactly a new trend. Your mother's pretty up to date.
Okay, she won't be shocked. But she'll hate the idea of my doing it.
Tell me, how do you feel about it?
That's what I don't know.
Okay, well, why don't you concentrate on that instead of wondering how your mother's gonna feel?
Okay. For one thing, I know it's on the level. The director's good. He's got credentials. This isn't a porn show.
Mm-hmm. What's the premise behind the nudity?
He feels it'll dramatize the basic conflict the play's about. Involve the audience visually.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes. I've thought about it, and I can see what he's after. I certainly don't object to any moral grounds. On any moral grounds. I don't think your body's anything to be ashamed of. As far as I'm concerned, I think it should be the same thing as going into a museum and seeing a nude painting. Except I'd be in the body.
Would it embarrass you?
Not exactly. My body's okay. It's rather nice, actually. The thing is walking out on stage half undressed. I'd be so aware of it. And I'd be worried about how the audience was reacting to it. And I'm afraid it would get in the way of the acting.
Rather than enhance it.
Sort of defeats Chester's purpose.
Chester?
The director. See, if I was more experienced, I'd know what to do. But I don't. So I don't know. One thing I do know is how much Mother's gonna hate it if I do it.
Well, it's a way out, isn't it?
Way out of what?
Making a decision. I mean, you use your mother's reaction to what you think it'll be, and that keeps you from depending on your own good sense and judgment.
What do you think about it?
Well, I think you should listen to yourself. You seem to have a remarkable amount of self-awareness for someone your age.
I don't get it. I thought you liked telling people what to do.
I have been known to give unwanted advice, I guess. Especially to people I care about who I see making foolish mistakes. But why in the world would I try to force my ideas on you when you clearly have such a great amount of common sense?
Thank you. But see, I really didn't know how I felt about it until we talked.
Well, if I've been helpful in that regard, I'm grateful.
Not that I've made up my mind, but I do feel a lot better about it. I'm really glad you stayed tonight.
My pleasure.
Would you mind? You can just go on reading. If I stayed a little?
Of course.
Now, Phil Marini, who's doing honors work in biology, by the way, has been averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
That's pretty good, huh?
Fairly sensational. But Jimmy McNichols has been doing 6.
6? Wow, that's incredible.
But my really heavy gun this season is a big, tall tight end. Can you imagine 6 feet tall in the 8th grade?
No, his poor mother.
We think he'll be 6'2" by the end of the season. He weighs all of 140 pounds. He looks like a giant string bean running down the field. But how he can catch the ball.
Well, I guess that's why St. Aloysius has been winning all these games.
In all my years, even when Frank and your brother were my stars, I've never had a team like this. Are you sure you won't have some of this?
Oh, no, I just ordered these because I know how unpleasant it is to eat alone. Well, maybe I will have a little taste. I'm not going to tell Bobby what you said.
Well, no, 61 was a terrific year. But these kids, the combination is magic. I just love designing plays for them. I've got a flea flicker. I introduced it last Saturday at the St. Charles Borromeo game.
A what?
A flea flicker. It looks like a running play, but it isn't.
Well, I don't know much about football. I bet Dan doesn't either. He's got a one-track mind. Commodities.
Well, okay then. Say this is my quarterback. And here is my wide receiver. Now, here is Archie, my tight end.
Oh, the tall one, that's cute.
Now, the tight end goes down 4 yards and blocks on the linebacker. The quarterback turns and hands the ball off to the halfback, who starts around the right end as if he's following the tight end. But at the very last moment, he turns and laterals the ball.
Laterals?
A sideways pass, like this, back to the quarterback, who then turns and hands off to the fullback, who starts around the left end. Well, by that time, everybody on the opposition is moving right along with the ball, they think, and the fullback...
Excuse me, Fred, has Mrs. Coleridge been here long?
Oh, yes. She came in early this evening with a gentleman, very hungry. And then Father McShane came in, and then she's eating again. Would you join them?
No, thanks. I don't want to bother them now. As a matter of fact, you needn't mention that I was here at all.
And when the fullback gets to the left end, he throws a long pass to the tight end, who has been relieved from his block and gone down long on the right.
Wow.
Well, of course, the fullback, running at left behind the line of scrimmage, passing deep to the right, a long pass across the field. I just wish I had a videotape of Father Fogarty's face at that point. Oh, forgive me. We've been rivals for years.
Yes, I'm sure. Father, you'll excuse us. It's been very nice meeting you, but, Delia, if you're finished with your kumquats, it's getting very late.
Oh, wow, it really is. Oh, Roger will be home any minute. He's at a meeting at Columbia.
Wow.
I guess we won't be able to finish our business tonight. I'll call you.
All right. I'll follow up on that.
Sure you will. You always do.
Well, listen, I hope I haven't disturbed anything.
Oh, no, we can do that anytime. But how often do I get a chance to see you and talk?
Well, that's a remarkable coat.
Yes, isn't it?
Delia, you are the picture of success. Mr. Fox, you're to be congratulated.
Some days are better than others. Good night, Father.
Perhaps you'd like to come up to St. Aloysius and see one of our games on Saturday.
Oh, thank you. I feel as though I've already been there. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Now, soon.
Oh, yes. I really had no idea what time it was. Roger.
I live here.
Oh, I know. And I'm so glad. I just wasn't expecting you back so soon. I thought when a bunch of surgeons get together, you'd have a whole lot to talk about.
Well, the meeting broke up earlier than I expected.
Oh, well, that's good. Did you eat? I'll fix you something.
No, no thanks. I'm not hungry. Where have you been?
I was at Lem's, having an orgy of Chinese food. You'll never guess who with.
You tell me.
Father McShane, isn't that funny? I always think it's funny that a priest would eat Chinese food. I don't know why. Anyway, we had such a good time.
Why don't you tell me about it, Dee?
We just talked and we ate and... Do you know that Father McShane is still obsessed with all the kids at St. Aloysius? He can quote every kid's average in every subject, including football. Was he always so dingy about football?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I think he's wonderful. I love him. I always did. You know, he used to say that about me, that I was basically a lovable person just mixed up a lot of the time. But he always believed in me. You and him.
How were the commodities today?
The same? Why?
Any activity in the market?
Sort of in a holding pattern.
Oh, I guess that means that you're in close communication with dear old Dan.
Dan Fox? Not unless I have to. He makes me nervous.
Why's that, Dee?
I don't know. He's just so intense. Do you know that seeing Father McShane again really made me realize how much I've missed the church? And I was thinking, now that Frank and I are annulled, and Patty and I didn't count...
And neither do we, of course.
Well, we could fix that. I'm sure the Father would marry us in the church.
I felt sufficiently married in Las Vegas.
Well, so did I, but it'd be nice, you know, and I've been wanting to go back. Church has always been such an important part of my life. I just have a hard time getting up in time for Mass. But maybe this Sunday, you know, we'll make a real effort.